All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are down to the wire with Mars. Today we're doing Mars in the sign of Pisces, which is going to be ended Mars through Science series. Thank God. So, Mars in the sign of Pisces in your horoscope. What happens when Mars is in the sign of Pisces? Well, what is the sign of Pisces? Pisces represents imagination. It represents psychic ability. It represents spirituality. It's the deepest water, because it's a water sign, it's the deepest water. It represents occult powers. It represents healing powers. It represents foreign things. Because Pisces is the original sign of the 12th house. So it has the element of the 12th house no matter where it goes. It represents isolation, isolated places, foreign places. Okay? And Pisces also represents your feet, which is going to be an important part of this conversation. And then what is Mars? Mars is your willpower. Mars is the energy you have. Mars is the fighting strength you possess. You know, it is your ultimate defense that you have against all the predators out there. So Mars is quite important. Okay. So when Mars comes into Pisces, first of all, sign of Pisces is ruled by Jupiter. And this is one of his best friends. So Mars feels comfortable here. And you might be thinking, well, Rahu was out of his element. Then how come Mars shouldn't be out of his element? Well, that, like I said, it's Mars's friend. And Mars already rules a water sign, Scorpio. So he knows what it's like to be in the water sign like Pisces, versus the air sign like Aquarius, which I did yesterday, where Mars is just out of his element and confused. But here Mars uses his energy, uses his willpower, uses his strength to develop spiritual intuition, to develop a strong imagination. Here Mars' physicalness goes into what? Feet. So what happens is with people who have Mars in Pisces can be very good runners. They can be very good dancers. Here Mars loves dancing because Pisces is a sign of feet, so it represents feet, and Mars is movement. So Mars can be just dancing, you know, like hee hee hee, like Michael Jackson. Okay, what am I doing? I'm an embarrassment to myself. So that's what happens here. There's a tremendous energy that goes into imagination, imagining things. But Mars is not really imaginative planet because that comes with Moon, that comes with Mercury, you know. But here Mars is imagination, goes more towards creating body art, which is what? Martial arts. This is a very good sign for martial, because martial arts requires concentration, meditation, and patience. So these guys become that peaceful warrior, but if you strike them, they will break your arm while their eyes are closed. So they still bring their physical competitiveness, Mars and Pisces. But here he uses his body more and uses spirituality for action. So all martial artists have to go through these steps of meditating, of self-realizing oneself, of going through yoga's practices. So this is where Mars energy that really goes into. Mars loves the energy of walking, long walks. They love long walks. They will walk from here for like 10 miles. They love that. They have that energy. But that energy also takes over their spiritualness. Mars is like a spiritual, peaceful warrior here as well, just like the sign of Libra. But here Mars really understands that I am not going to just hit somebody because you're hitting me. No. I'll only do it once you really break my inner peace. So here it's really hard to break their anger. However, Mars kind of, again, Pisces is a sign of isolation. Pisces is a sign of foreign things. So Mars here doesn't like to be involved into the physical side of the world. He wants to go out in the forest and practice martial art. He wants to go out in the forest and, you know, do his walking, do his running, do his dancing. So what happens is it kind of also hurts their real world relationships, their real connection to the world. Because Mars energy is now in the deep waters where the world is above it and he's just in this like complete deep waters. He's like meditating. So here, they can be quite eccentric as far as like dealing with people that are concerned. Like they'll be like, hey, hi, how are you? But I gotta go. That's how they are. They'll be like, no, 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 I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go. Don't bother me. They're one of those people that lock themselves in a room if they're writing a book or writing a project or doing something. They do not want to be bothered by anybody, including their husbands or wife. So this is where their relationship can also take a tumble down. It can tumble. I'm thinking about Tumblr because I was just on Tumblr. But yeah. But that's what happens with these guys. They get too much involved and absorbed into their work. Whether it's meditating, whether it's martial arts, whether it's running, whether it's dancing, they'll be practicing all day long because for them it's that spiritualness. Their action and their energy, wherever their energy goes, becomes their spiritual being. Now here's the thing though. Since Mars is in the sign of Pisces and is becoming imaginative and spiritual, Mars is lustfulness and Mars is energy towards romance, has to always involve creativity, artisticness, artistry, and most importantly, spirituality. They're attracted to people who are into meditation, who are into yoga, who are into like eating organic foods and vegan foods. I know that's why I'm never gonna be with somebody like that because I love meat. But here Mars loves to take slow in relationship and they love the sensuality of things. Where in Scorpio, Mars is like, okay, let's forget the dinner, let's forget the drink, let's jump into bed. Here Mars says, let's forget the drink, let's forget the food, let's go on a hike and let's do meditation. Let me connect to you. And through that, I will get turned on. That's what Mars is in here. So this is why it's hard for them this is why they have a hard time in a relationship. Because of the fact the other person that they're involved with usually wants to head towards relationship and intimacy in a normal manner. Where these guys are more like, well, what turns me on is when I see you meditating, not when you're wearing your short, skinny dress. But don't think that they will not think this way. Of course, they love the guy. Mars and Pisces will love a woman with short dress and whatnot, and a girl with Mars and Pisces will love a muscular man and all that. But their initial ignition inside gets turned on when they find that spiritual person. When they find that person who is artistic, that's like their fetish in a way. Like a lot of people have fetish, but they never really achieve them. So that's what happens with Mars. They kind of achieve that, like, wow, you're spiritual, you're doing the exact same thing as I am. Because again, Mars is just energy, where you're putting your energy, your effort. You see, so this is why Mars is kind of closely related to your work as well, along with Sun and Saturn. Because Mars is just where you're exerting your energy. It's really quite easy to determine planets through signs and planets through houses. Actually, once you have dealt with planets through houses, it just, like when I was learning astrology, it was just like so easy for me to just understand, oh, Saturn in Gemini versus Saturn in Libra, what it's going to do. Looking at Saturn's significance and significance of Gemini, mashing them together. So this is why it's really an easy process. Nothing like, there's no secrets here. What I'm doing is I'm combining Pisces and I'm combining Mars and I'm bringing them together and creating this mix of this mutation of, both of the worlds. So maybe once I do my next planetary houses, what you should do is combine two energies together before I actually make the video. Let's say if we might do Jupiter next through houses or Mercury. Like before I do Mercury through Aries, try to put these two energies together and see what you come up with. And then watch the video that I come up with. And then you will be able to see that, what? Maybe I can do this as well. So that was like, that's how simple it is. And that was my analysis of Mars in the sign of Pisces. And we end with Pisces here. All right. So guys, this is my analysis, and if you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know where your Mars is placed, and if it's in a water sign, and if it's in a running and dancing sign, check out the link below. Check out my book there, Astrology, the Speed of Light. And when you get the book, I will send you the link to look at your own chart. Just make sure you follow the directions below. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow with some special video. Bye-bye.
I give you quality, honey, so put your money on me. With my authority, surely you wanna get up on it. I give you quality, honey, so put your money on me. With my authority, surely you wanna get up on it. I'm super fly with the rhymes I supply. Float like a butterfly, high up in the sky. Stink like a bee before I touch the ground.